Hi, and welcome to another podcast here on Beyond the Garden Basics. Now, besides the podcast, there's a lot of great information about today's topic in the newsletter, which is available on Substack. Just do a search for Beyond the Garden Basics, and you're going to find out a lot about growing other vegetables that you may not have thought about growing in the heat of the summer. Among the heat-loving vegetables you can direct sow seeds or transplants of during June or early July: squash, melons, eggplant, corn, both sweet and popcorn, and okra. Yes, that's what we're talking about today, and today's podcast is all about okra. Okra is one of many home garden crops that get off to a stronger start when the soil is very warm in the 70s and 80s. And that includes transplants that you might find of these vegetables. So here's Gail Pothour, Sacramento County Master Gardener, telling you everything you need to know about growing okra. What? That doesn't appeal to you? Well, give a listen to what she has to say, because there are a lot of benefits and a lot of uses for okra. And we got a text message from a listener who says, I hope you might address the subject of growing okra. Any experience you might have with varieties or tips would be appreciated. It's been very frustrating with a low success rate. Well, when it comes to vegetables, we like to bring in our resident vegetable expert, Sacramento County Master Gardener Gail Pothour. And Gail, okra, they really like the heat, don't they?
Oh, they do, and they're warm. So you get them in too early and you'll have problems. So need to wait, get them in the ground when it's like mid-May.
Okra is, shall we say, an acquired taste. Now, if you're from the South, well, you've probably had that acquired taste since you were young. But for many other people, the okra, I guess, politely could be described as having a mucilaginous flavor.
Mm-hmm. That's what I would say. Kind of a slimy green bean, maybe.
Yes.
It has a green bean type flavor, but it's a little slippery or gooey. It's perfect if you're cooking gumbo when you want it thickened, but it can be a little off-putting if you're not used to the texture. There are ways you can get around it. Deep fry it. Of course, everything's good deep fried, but if you deep fry it or if you cook it with acid, things like tomatoes or vinegar, it kind of eliminates some of that slipperiness.
They are, of course, available at most seed racks, because I really think that if you want to grow okra, one good reason to grow okra, even if you're not going to eat it, is grow it for the flowers.
Oh, it's beautiful. It's in the same family as hibiscus, so it's in the mallow family. So hollyhock, hibiscus, cotton, even cacao. Who knew? I had no idea that chocolate was in the same family. But they have this beautiful white or kind of a yellowish flower. If you know what a hibiscus or a hollyhock flower looks like, that's what the okra flower is like.
And it can get rather large. What, about 5 feet tall?
Right, say between 4 and 6 feet. The varieties that we've grown at the Fairhouse Horticulture Center all seem to be about 4 feet tall. We often will grow them in a half wine barrel, so we can grow several plants in a large container like that. Because they are large, they need to be staked or grow in a large cage. But they're quite bushy. They can become, quite large plants. They're quite pretty, and the little pods and the flowers, it is quite an attractive plant.
One warning that I noticed at one University of California publication, it says, don't plant them where you have grown tomatoes or eggplants, as it is susceptible to the same wilts like fusarium and verticillium wilt.
I would say perhaps the verticillium wilt. The fusarium wilt that gets on tomatoes is host specific, so I don't know how that would translate into a disease on okra. But certainly verticillium gets on a variety of vegetable crops and ornamental plants. So I would be a little leery of planting in a bed that maybe had verticillium or a bed that's had nematodes, because okra is susceptible to nematodes as well.
So if you see the leaves on the okra starting to turn yellow and wilting, then you might suspect one of those wilts.
Right. Now, did you know that there is more to the okra plant that's edible than just the pod?
Tell me more, Gail.
Well, the okra leaves can be prepared like collards or spinach, or you can use it fresh in a salad. Also, I have heard that okra seeds can be roasted and ground into kind of a caffeine-free coffee substitute, which sounds kind of interesting. I've never tried that myself. And the flowers can be used much like you would squash blossoms. So we stuff them with ricotta cheese and deep fry them. So yeah, there's more edible than just the pods. And by the way, the pods do need to be harvested when they're small, say 3 inches long. I use my index finger as a guide for that. If they get much larger, they can get tough and stringy.
Now, according to the Master Gardener program of Sonoma County, that has an excellent publication on okra, they suggest that one way to cut the slime factor is cooking okra with lemon juice, vinegar, or even with tomatoes.
Right, and I actually read that just the other night from Renee Shepard, Renee's Garden Seeds. She has a lot of cooking tips on her website about the seeds that she sells, and yeah, she had that on there as well.
And again, we should point out it's a warm weather plant. Okra probably best planted when daytime temperatures are regularly in the 80s and 90s. So definitely wait until May or June to plant okra.
Right. And if you have a short growing season, it might not be the crop for you because it does need warmth. It does need, at least 2, maybe 3 months of that really warm weather. So if you live in a climate where you can successfully grow tomatoes, corn, or melons, then you shouldn't have any problem with growing okra.
According to the Sunset National Garden Book, okra can be grown in all zones. Good luck on that, folks.
Yeah, I would think if you lived in a coastal climate or something where in an area that doesn't have a good 3 months of warm weather, it might be a challenge, but there could be varieties that are a little bit earlier. So that would certainly be something you should check out. At the Fair Oaks Horticulture Center, we have grown okra most every year. I know we're doing that again this year. And we tend to stick with varieties that are All-America Selection winners because they're varieties that have been tested throughout North America and have been shown to be successful growing in most climates. And they have good disease resistance and that sort of thing. So the ones that we have grown and that we really enjoy are Burgundy that you mentioned, and that's an old open pollinated one that's about 4 feet tall. Handlefire is one I think that we're going to be growing again this year. It's also 4 feet tall. Clemson Spineless, which is an old heirloom, is an All-America selection from the 1930s. It's about 4 feet tall. And then jambalaya, we grew that several years ago. It's about 4 or 5 feet tall, has green pods, and it's a hybrid. And all of those have done very well for us.
Some of the other varieties recommended by the Master Gardeners up in Sonoma County include Blondie, Bubba Baby, and Red Velvet.
There's also another one that is an All-America selection that is kind of dwarfed. It's called Cajun Delight, so it's another good one. So there's a variety of okras out there that you could grow that have either green pods or red pods, so they're very decorative. The flowers are beautiful. You can also, if you let the pods get too large and you shouldn't eat them now because they're stringy and woody, you can grow them ornamentally, say in an arrangement. They get kind of woody and you can put those in a fall arrangement or something. However, if you leave those over mature pods on the plant, that will sort of stop the plant from producing more flowers and edible pods. So if you want to grow them just for ornamental purposes, you won't get a lot, but you'll get some large woody pods. But if you want to grow them to eat, take those over mature pods off. Just cut them off.
Well, I would think, too, by removing those older pods, it would produce more flowers as well.
Exactly, right. Yeah, if you leave those older pods on, it will keep the plant from flowering and producing more, small pods that you would want to eat.
It's a big, pretty flower. Some people enjoy the taste of okra. I'm being diplomatic here. But, it's really a beautiful plant.
Oh, it is. It makes a real statement in a garden because it is fairly tall, 4 to 5 feet tall. It's bushy. It's got beautiful flowers on it. It's got gorgeous pods, especially if you grow varieties that have the red pods and red stems. So it's very ornamental. Has a lot of uses. In fact, one of our master gardeners wrote an article for our newsletter several years ago and found all kinds of interesting facts about okra. Did you know that the okra stem fibers can be used as an ice cream stabilizer? Who knew? Apparently it retards ice crystal formation, and so it has a lot of different uses. It has okra seeds have unsaturated fats in it. So, that okra plant has a lot of uses.
We've learned a lot today about growing okra. Gail Pothour, Sacramento County Master Gardener, thanks for your help on this.
My pleasure, Fred.
Don't forget, you can find out more information about other vegetables that love the heat, such as squash, melons, eggplant, and corn, both sweet corn and popcorn, in today's accompanying newsletter of Beyond the Garden Basics. Just look for other vegetables that love the heat. And thanks for subscribing.